When Jurgen Klopp announced his departure at the end of the 2023-2024 season, it felt as though a storm had struck Anfield Road. After all, Klopp wasn't just a manager, he was an institution within the club. Over 9 years, he transformed Liverpool into an unstoppable force, lifting historic trophies such as the Champions League and the Premier League. So, when fans heard Klopp was leaving, their reaction was understandable: despair, uncertainty, and even fear. How could anyone possibly fill the enormous boots left behind by the charismatic German? But something curious happened. Something few had anticipated. Instead of entering a painful period of transition, Liverpool found in Arne Slot a quiet yet brilliant leader who brought a new dimension to the team. This isn't just about results, although they were spectacular last season, but about an almost imperceptible change behind the scenes that completely reshaped the team's dynamics. And this change? It goes far beyond what you might imagine. Arne Slot didn't arrive at Liverpool as a household name or an already celebrated manager. He lacked Klopp's media glamour or the trophy-laden pedigree of other major European coaches. But there was something about him that caught the attention of the Fenway Sports Group, FSG. Perhaps it was his methodical, detail-oriented approach. Perhaps it was his ability to communicate clearly and directly. Or maybe it was simply that when Slot speaks, people listen. From day one, it was clear that Slot wasn't there to reinvent the wheel. He knew Liverpool was already a finely tuned machine under Klopp. However, he brought something different, a microscopic view of the game. While Klopp was known for his infectious energy and heavy metal football philosophy, Slot opted for a more controlled, almost scientific approach. He didn't radically change Liverpool's style of play, but he refined it. He made it more efficient, more calculated, without losing the attacking essence that has always defined the team. And here lies the big secret: Slot didn't do it alone. He implemented a revolutionary change behind the scenes that, even today, remains underestimated but had a monumental impact on Liverpool's success last season. That change? An obsession with detail that borders on fanaticism. Have you ever stopped to consider how many conversations actually happen within a football club? For many managers, meetings are a necessary but limited formality. Klopp, for example, preferred to keep things simple. He was famous for his short, objective video sessions, usually brief and focused on the next match. It was a practical and effective approach, but Slot decided to take things to another level. According to journalist Lewis Steele, who closely followed Slot's first season in charge at Liverpool, the Dutchman turned the concept of meetings into a true art. When I spoke to the players last season, many of them said the difference between Klopp and Slot is massive in terms of detail, Steele revealed in a video posted on YouTube. It's meetings, meetings, and more meetings. While Klopp used to hold just one session per match, Slot does it every single day. That's right, every single day. Slot not only holds regular team meetings but also one-on-one sessions with each player. And here's the truly impressive detail: every Liverpool player has their own designated mentor. For example, Ryan Gravenberch works closely with John Heitinger, while Konate receives personalized guidance from another member of the coaching staff. Each player has someone who monitors them closely, analyzing strengths and weaknesses and helping them evolve continuously. This approach isn't just about improving individual performance, it's about creating a culture of excellence. Slot has a phrase that perfectly sums up his philosophy: there's always something that can be improved. It doesn't matter who the player is, not even Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's current biggest idol, is immune to constructive criticism. Slot doesn't hesitate to call out any player and say, "What was that? You need to improve in this area." This frankness, far from being seen as rude, is admired by the players, who understand it comes from a place of genuine concern for each individual's growth. There's something special about Arne Slot that goes beyond numbers and strategies. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but everyone around him notices it. He has an aura of calm, respectful authority. When Slot enters a room, people stop to listen. Not because he shouts or demands attention, but because his words carry weight. He speaks with clarity, conviction, and, above all, purpose. This trait is even more striking when compared to Klopp's style. the German was beloved for his explosive passion and his ability to fire up players with emotional speeches. Slot, on the other hand, prefers a more introspective approach. He doesn't need to shout to be heard. His presence is enough. This creates an environment where players feel respected, but also held accountable. And it's precisely this combination that makes Slot so effective. Another fascinating aspect of his leadership style is what could be called hidden ruthlessness. It may sound contradictory, right? How can someone so methodical and respectful be ruthless? But here's the point: Slot is unafraid to point out flaws, even in the best players. He doesn't aim to humiliate anyone, but neither does he accept mediocrity. If something isn't working, he'll say so. And, surprisingly, the players love it. They know Slot is there to help them grow, not to criticize them for the sake of it. If there's one thing that shows how much trust the Liverpool owners have in Arne Slot, it's the investments made during the transfer window. In recent years, FSG had often been criticized for being too cautious with spending. Of course, they spent when necessary, but always with an eye on the budget. That changed drastically in the summer of 2024. The American owners gave Slot virtually a blank check to reshape the squad. So far, the Dutchman has spent around £200 million on new signings, and there are rumours that even more funds will be made available. This includes reinforcements in key positions such as centre-back and forward, as well as potential replacements in case Luis Diaz leaves the club. The message is clear: the board fully believes Slot is the right man to take Liverpool to new heights. But with major investments come high expectations. The next season will be a decisive test for Slot. He has already proven that he can maintain the level of excellence set by Klopp, but now the challenge is even greater. The fans want titles. They want to see Liverpool once again competing for the Premier League and the Champions League. And with a renewed and strengthened squad, there are no excuses for failure. So, what can we expect from Arne Slot's future at Liverpool? The answer is simple: great things. He's already shown that he has the emotional intelligence, discipline, and technical knowledge required to lead a club of this magnitude. Moreover, his meticulous approach and ability to manage both the group and individuals promise sustainable results in the long term. In 2025, Slot is not just Liverpool's manager, he is a symbol of renewal and progress. He's proven that it's possible to honour Klopp's legacy without trying to imitate it. He has brought his own identity to the club, respecting its history while also looking firmly toward the future. And with the full support of the board and players, he is ready to write his own chapter in Liverpool's history. Now, picture this: a packed Anfield Road, fans singing in unison, and Arne Slot calmly standing on the touchline, watching as his team plays with surgical precision. He doesn't need to shout or gesture wildly. His presence says it all. And as Liverpool continues to rack up wins and claim titles, it becomes increasingly clear that the decision to put faith in Slot was a masterstroke. So, the next time you watch a Liverpool match, pay close attention to the little details. Notice how every pass seems calculated, how every movement appears rehearsed. Remember that behind it all is a man who turned routine meetings into a culture of excellence. A man who isn't afraid to demand more, even from the very best. And, above all, a man who has proven that sometimes, silence can be just as powerful as noise. Welcome to the Arne Slot era. An era of detail, discipline, and yes, plenty of victories.